Nice. Okay. All right. So, welcome to PowerPoint Secret Animation Tips. I hope I piqued your interest a little bit in in my title here. If I sometimes if I just call things tips and tricks, it's like, but anyway, we're going to be doing all sorts of things today with animation, and sometimes people are like, well, what is animation anyway? And I will show you. So here's an example. You can all see my PowerPoint. How convenient to have a PowerPoint at the beginning of a PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to hit the mouse button and we are going to see some animation. So that heart is an object that I have animated. I have told it to come in only when I click the mouse. All right, now here's another one coming up. And I not only told this one only come in when I click the mouse, but I want you to come in a different way. So the first one kind of bounced in and the other one kind of came from the top and zoomed. I'll show you again if you want. This is what I was meaning. So this is called a bounce effect. And then this one, oh, I can't remember what it was called, down and out or something like that. We're going to see tons of them today, tons and tons and tons of them. So, that's a little bit about animation, and it does get more fun than that. So, our plan for today, that was another animation. Wow. And introductions here. I'm Joanne Swensrud. Know It Sooner Computer Training. I think I've met or at least had you on webinars in the past. So thank you again for coming. I would love for you to put in the chat where you're from because we do have some folks from all over the place today. So please just put in the chat where you're from. This will play a part in a little while, so you don't have to put your company or whatever, but maybe just your location, Prince George. Yay, I remembered, Cynthia. You're going to see in a minute. You're going to go, wow, she remembered. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do some introductions here, and I'm always after you. Please leave me some reviews. Go to Yelp. Go to Google, Google me and Google, not me, Google Know It Sooner Computer Training and leave some reviews. That would be so fantastic. My Facebook page, that's what I do these things for. Um, my book, I think I told you guys about my book last time. 2 years ago, I did a little calendar for 2023, and it had one tip a day in it. It was coil bound and stuff like that. So it was easy to, oh, what's the tip today? Oh, what's the tip tomorrow? Whatever. And then this time I made it into a book. It's a 5x8 book, and I'm getting my second proof today, and so it'll probably be up on Amazon on over the weekend or by Monday or something like that. So it's one tip a day, and it is on the different Microsoft products. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's on the Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and uh, general Windows tips and internet browsing tips. Control Shift T is one of my favorites. You guys, I'm just going to log it for a minute here. Have you ever gone and you've got the different tabs in your browser and then you close one by mistake and you're like, oh man, or you close your browser by mistake? How many of you have done that? I have done that. Go back into your browser and go Control Shift T, and it'll bring back all your open tabs. That's one of my tips in my book. So that's a little teaser for you. Yeah. And it's going to be available as an ebook as well. So cheaper, maybe more convenient, whatever. Yeah. Okay. So that's exciting. Um, so then what else do we have for today? Oh, that was another one. All of these sessions go up onto YouTube, my channel there, Know It Sooner. So go on there. There's tons and tons of stuff on there right now. And there's some courses where you found this one. There are some more courses. There's an Excel course in January. There's a Word class. I think I said stop hating Microsoft Word because lots of people do. And I don't think I have a PowerPoint course up there yet, but certainly after today, if you're like, wow, I learned a lot from this, I'd like to know if there's more that I can learn about PowerPoint. So I'm curious. The book title is Know It Daily. Know It Daily. Okay, because it's kind of like, know it sooner, know it daily. Okay, good. Yay. I can send some to you, Cynthia. How many would you like? Or get it off of Amazon when it's available. Um, so yeah, I'm curious to know what your PowerPoint level of experience is, what you think. So maybe, I don't know, on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 meaning like I'm pretty really, I'm really good at PowerPoint. I make it dance, I can make it do lots. Maybe a 1 if you haven't used it that much yet, or maybe somebody else did it and you've edited it or something like that. Just kind of give me an idea of where you're at, if you wouldn't mind. Anyway, let me know if you're, want to get at a PowerPoint class. Okay, we're going to do PowerPoint secret animation tips, and then there's going to be a time for questions. Okay, so that's what I've got planned for today. Okay, now that wasn't supposed to come up right now, but it did. That's in existence. Everybody's just 3 out of 10. Okay, it was supposed to be out of 5, Colette. But so does that maybe make you a 2 then a 5 or what? It doesn't really matter. I just like to get a little bit of an idea. So yes, actually that was supposed to come in exactly the right time. I thought I was on another slide. I just did this change right before. So okay, that's your current level of knowledge that you think. Remember that. And then watch what happens here to this ball, this circle, right? This is another example of animation. I'm going to hit my mouse, or actually, I use the down arrow key. It goes away, and look what comes up instead. So that's an example of animation, and I'm going to show you how you can do those kinds of things today. So does anybody um, have a different opinion or idea now about what animation is all about with PowerPoint? Maybe you do, Hank? Yeah. Okay. So these are the things that we're going to cover within the session. I always talk about outline view in my PowerPoint classes because do you guys know what outline view is? Did anybody say like a 4 or 5? Oh, chickens. You knew I was going to ask you questions if you put a 4 or 5. Any of you 2s or 3s know what outline view is? It is a game changer. Oh my goodness. Then we're going to talk about animating things, kind of like what I was just showing you with text and shapes and pictures and graphs. So you're going to be able to bring it up and you're going to say, watch the little bar chart go straight up. We're going to look at something called animation pane, and it is going to be your game changer when it comes to this kind of thing. You might even use it for other things. Okay, so at this point, because I don't think there's anything else, no. At this point, I'm going to switch over. Now I do have this presentation if you guys want. I didn't set that up, but I certainly could. 2 seconds. Um, I have this presentation. It's not much. It just is a little bit of text. Okay, so a little bit of text. Let me hit save. I never know. Do people do it with me or do they watch it later and practice it? I never know. I never know when if I should send it along or not. So, what do you guys think when you're watching these? Some of you have come to quite a few of them now. I'm going to drag that into the chat. Where's my chat window? There's my chat window. Let me do it while I'm in it. No, it won't. Darn it. File, save as, Western Provinces 1. Silly thing. And now I should be able to drag it in there. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. And I didn't see anybody from out east, so I hope that I've got just about everybody here. I'm sorry, I don't have Sherwood Park. Ponoka, Leslie, I do not have Ponoka in here, but I'm going to show you stuff. So what I've done here is I've just gone in and I've created a PowerPoint, right? I've got a nice little title slide. I know it's boring, it's ugly, but we're not here today to make it pretty. We're here to talk about animating. So Um, when I type this in, what do you guys do? Do you go new slide and then you pick kind of a layout for, or maybe you just kind of hit the top of new slide and you just kind of hope it gives you what you want. What if it gave you, what if you wanted, like you didn't want this big box here, you just wanted a picture or something like that. It's kind of a pain. You could go to layout and say, I just want the title, right? You could do that. You could say, oh, I kind of want it laid out like the title slide, like Western Canada, right? So that would be maybe a last slide. You have questions or something like that, right? Questions. You don't want it at the top, right? That's kind of cool. Kind of cool. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna delete that. I'm gonna show you how I create slides. I will go in and I will create this one, and then I go to outline view. So outline view, you can either grab it from view, outline, view, or I bet you're gonna love it so much that down on the very bottom right-hand corner, I've got normal, I've got slide sorter, I've got reading view, and I've got slideshow. We're not even going to go into slideshow today. Well, maybe. I'm going to go into normal view. Well, aren't I already in normal view? If you're already in normal view and you click it again, you're going to end up in this thing called outline view. Outline view, what? It's so great because it allows you to work with your text and it allows you to work with levels. And we really care about levels today. What if there was somebody here from Manitoba? So I would go after the last Saskatchewan. And my Meadow Lake person's not here. So I put Meadow Lake on there for her and she's not here. But okay. So I'm going to go to the end of Meadow. Actually, I'll back up a little bit. I'm going to put Sherwood Park in here. So I'm going to go after Red Deer and I'm going to press enter. Now look what it does. It gives me the same level. Okay, great, perfect. I'm going to hit enter again and I'm going to go Ponoka. Great, gives me the same level. Isn't that great? Well, I'm going to kind of try to do that down here. We're going to put Manitoba. So I'm going to go after the last one and I'm going to press enter. And I'm going to go Manitoba. I don't want it there. It's not part of Saskatchewan. So does anybody know what I can do to sort of shoot it to the left? Shoot it to the left. They know what I can do. Did you guys get that file? I hope so. I'm going to give you two keystrokes. Tab to go to the right. So this would mean, I'm going to zoom that in a little bit. This would mean that maybe there's a part of Meadow Lake, like the north part of Meadow Lake or blah, 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 right? Tab is a sub enter. So tab goes to the right. Shift tab goes to the left. Shift tab goes to the left. So I would be able to put Manitoba, right? That's very, very cool. So then I would go enter. Oh, I don't want to have another one at that level. So I would go tab and I would go Winnipeg. Is that cool for those of you that do typing in here? It's also very easy to do copy and pasting. So maybe somebody says, hey, can you give me a blurb? A bio. I'm going to introduce you. Give me a bio. Give me something to put up on a slide so they put it in an email and you copy and paste it. You've tried to paste it on the right-hand side here in your slide view. What if sometimes it doesn't go so well, but you go to outline view and you put it in here. Now, what this is also very nice for is creating new slides. So let's say that after Winnipeg, you're going to go enter and you're going to go, well, this is a lot for one slide. I want a new slide. Do not touch that new slide button. I'm going to go Shift Tab and I'm going to go Shift Tab one more time. That creates a new slide. So tab to go to the right, like it's a sub paragraph or a kind of a lower level point or higher level, lower level, higher level. And if Shift Tab goes to the left. So if you keep going Shift, I can't do it anymore. Shift Tab, Shift Tab. It's not doing anything else. It takes you to the very first one. So I'm actually going to do that here. I'm going to say, you know what? Manitoba should be on its own slide. So I'm going to go Meadow Lake, enter, Shift Tab, Shift Tab. Look at how easy I just cut that slide in half. I can make Saskatchewan on its own too. I can make Alberta, right? Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Who loves that one? Okay, so I'm going to go back up here to this one, and I'm going to talk about what happens if I don't do any animating. So I'm going to just say, I'm ready to do my slideshow. Now, for today, I'm probably not going to go to the slideshow button. I mean, I could. It takes, I don't know, it didn't really take that long. Um, what we noticed is it just everything comes up together. I'm going to hit escape to come out of that. What I like a little bit better is the reading view. I don't know why I like it better. I guess because I still have stuff going on down at the bottom. But for testing purposes today, I'm going to be going in and out of reading view. And maybe you haven't used it before and it gives you a chance to do that. Like I said, I like it because if you guys said, hey, can you show me your Excel screen right now? I could just click on it. If I was in the slideshow, I'd have to come out of the slideshow. I'd have to go into Excel. Then when I'm done there, I have to go back to PowerPoint and run the slideshow again. This way, I can just go click, click, whatever I want to do here. Right? I can you guys are just seeing it, especially in this virtual presentation world these days. Okay, so you can see that everything just came up all by itself. How have you seen it come up before? How many of you have seen it come up? Maybe just the word provinces come up, and then on a mouse click, it comes up with BC and Vancouver, Victoria, Prince George, and Kamloops. And then maybe on the second click, Alberta and its cities come up. And on the third click, Saskatchewan and its cities come up. Yes? Have you seen that before? Okay. That is super easy to do. Look at when I click, I see a box for the title. So the title is kind of like one object. And when I click in this area, I see a box for the body. So yes, I'd be able to go Vancouver. I want to treat it, you know, different than the rest. I can select and stuff like that. I can delete. I can do stuff on but if you're talking about all the things in that group, then click on the top. See where I am here? So if you're like clicking here, it might not work. So you want to be clicking on the line of the box somehow. One of the reasons why I don't have fancy backgrounds and things when I'm doing my teaching. I'm going to go up to animations and I'm going to look here. I see all these green things. And I'm actually going to stay out of there for a minute. I'm going to go to the side. I'm going to go add animation. Get rid of my animation pane for right now. Add animation. Now I see greens, I see yellows, I see reds, and if I scroll down, I see some other funky stuff that we're going to talk about. So I can tell it how I want the information to come on the screen with an entrance effect. I can tell it what to do when it gets there, and I can tell it what to do when I want it to leave. So we're going to get into the emphasis and exit later, probably when we do objects. For right now, we're going to do entrances. And if I go in and I pick one of these, I'm going to be able to see it right away, but I want to show you more of them. Down towards the bottom, it says more entrance effects. And I really like this one because I can play with it. Who likes to play with their stuff? I'm going to click on peek in. What is that? If I click on it, come on. Clicking. I'm clicking. Is it hung up somewhere? Why can't I do anything? It's just totally frozen. Am I frozen? No. What is going on? I'm clicking and nothing's happening. Escape. Weird. Okay, let's try that again. Oh dear. Okay, let's try that again. Add animation, more entrance effects. See if it'll work this time. Peak. There we go. Wheel. Troop, troop, troop. Swivel. Oh, don't do that one. Please don't do that one. It will be like, whoa, people are going to go cross-eyed. Okay, Though that's kind of a neat one. And notice how it's doing it by group, by level. So all the BCs, all the Albertas, all the Saskatchewans. Okay. We're going to be able to fix that, or I don't know if you want to call it fix that. We're going to be able to do something about that later. Change it. Stretch, kind of like stretch is kind of neat. I'm going to go with stretch. And you know what? You can scroll down and you can have some other ones. Don't do that one either. Unless you really super want to. So that's kind of fun. You've got that preview effect. That's why I like that better than this at the top. So how did we get that? Add animation, more entrance effects. I'm going to click on it. Now, when I do that, I'm going to see a bunch of numbers. Now, I've actually been playing around with this and I didn't reset that. So I bet you yours looks like this with a bunch of ones, maybe just one, or I can't even remember what the default was. All at once, maybe. Yeah. Although if it's the same one as mine, maybe it's exactly the same. Anyway, we're going to play around with these anyway. I want us to start watching the numbers. I'm going to go to my reading view. This is what it's going to look like when I do my presentation. Hi, everybody. I'm here to talk to you about some of the provinces. Oh, okay. Here they all are. They came in pretty, but they all came in together. I want to talk about BC first before I talked about Alberta. I'm going to hit escape there. Now that's because we have it set up, I have it set up to come in on the first mouse click, right? Remember provinces came up and then the first time I clicked on the mouse and I like hitting the down arrow key. So when I say mouse click, it doesn't have to mean mouse click. It could be down arrow key because that's how I do it. When I'm in a presentation, I'll use my down arrow key to get to the next slide and up arrow key if I want to back it up. Okay, so I'm going to say mouse click, but I don't necessarily mean it. So I'm going to click on that box again, and I'm going to go Effect Options, and I can see some cool different effects up here, but I'm going to say by paragraph. It doesn't really give me a good idea yet until I go Reading View. Okay, one click, oh, BC. Two clicks, Alberta, and guess what? Three clicks, Saskatchewan. Fourth click will take me to the next slide. And now my numbers change. So on the first click, BC, second, Alberta, and so on. Does that make sense to you? This is pretty important in understanding going forward these numbers. Have you ever seen them there? Yeah. Okay. Now, we can do a lot more with that. I want to show you something cool. Um, this does not have it yet, but I want you to think about something. Let's say you're talking about BC, blah, 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 yep, yep, yep. And then you want to go on to the next one. You bring up Alberta and you want something to happen to BC. You either want it to go away or maybe you just want to dim it. So that, okay, well, which one are we talking about? I think it's kind of obvious that we're talking about Alberta, but I'm going to show you that. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to grab this guy. And here is when I need to bring up, I think there's a right click option, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. I'm going to bring up the animation pane, and it's on the animation toolbar here, animation pane. And I'm going to unmaximize my screen because sometimes my zoom picture goes over top when we're talking about the right-hand side. Okay, and that way I can see it too. Well, I guess I can move my picture over, but anyway, what do I have going on over here? I've got animation pane. Now, I've got content placeholder. What that is this box. This is called a content placeholder. I'm going to go to the little, are called chevrons, those little down pointy things there. Click to expand, and I see a few things. I see my numbers again, 1, 2, 3, okay? And I see a lot of green. Those are entrance effects. So this would be something, well, if you wanted to talk about Prince George before you talked about Victoria, you could drag it. You can actually drag it over on the left-hand side as well, but sometimes you're going to want to drag things in your animation pane. So on the right-hand side here, what we're going to do is we're going to go to BC. Actually, we're going to go to BC, shift click, and whichever one is your last BC one now. I don't know if you've changed it like I did or not. Kamloops is my last one. And I'm going to go to the little drop down box. I don't have that drop down box anywhere else. And I'm going to go effect options. And you guys are like, Joanne, you have effect options. It's up there. Yeah, but I don't have anything else to do here. Watch what happens in this effect options. It brings me up with some information about what I'm doing right now. So direction, you might have seen it up there in the other effect options. Sound, hey, I could have a sound coming in when BC is coming in on the screen. I could do that. But this is the one I was talking about. Oh my goodness, am I frozen again? What the heck? I am frozen again. Escape worked last time. There we go. Effect options. And then where it says don't dim, dim it. So you can say, well, actually just this one here, it's just kind of a little bit, it's just the people are still going to be able to see it, but it's just going to dim it. And you can play with color there if you want. I'm just going to pick that one there. These are the recommended ones for this theme. And then how do I want to animate them one at a time? Like, sorry, all at once by word or by letter. So you can play with those on your own. I'm just going to say all at once, and it's just the stuff I have selected. Okay, I'm going to show you what that looks like. So, hi everybody, I'm here to talk about the provinces. The first one is BC. It's so beautiful. Click. Look what happens. So the background, they kind of go into the background a little bit, and Alberta comes up. Now I don't have Alberta's done yet, so what would I do? I would go Alberta. I think I can actually, well, it probably doesn't make sense to do the Saskatchewan's because there's nothing after that. But if I did, you could probably select them all. Effect options. So that is one of the secrets that I was talking about. Who knew? And a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of stuff in there, right? We're not going to go through all these things today, and some of them are on your toolbar. Okay, so go back into it. We're going to do this 100 times today. BC, go away. Alberta, go away. Saskatchewan. Who loves that? Who loves that? All right, good. Don't be scared to say you love it. Okay, what if we wanted them to come in one at a time? So for example, we wanted BC to come in and then Vancouver. We want to talk about Vancouver. And then when we're ready, we want to hit the mouse or down arrow and bring up Victoria. These are all on the first mouse click. So let's say BC and Vancouver, they're going to come up together, but then we want it to stop. So what we'll do on the right-hand side here is we will go to, isn't that interesting? It's not in the same order. There we go. I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't think I've ever moved it. I just moved the annotation animation. I didn't move the actual order that they came in. So that was a bad example that I gave you. Victoria. I'm going to go to Victoria and I'm going to go to the thing on the right-hand side. And it says, how would you like this one to start? When it says start, how do you want this one to come up on the screen? If I say, look at the one it's on right now, start with previous, that means they all come at the same time. If I say start on click, look what happens to all my numbers. Look what happens to all my numbers. So I'm going to show you that. Here we go. We'll talk about the provinces. Okay, first we're going to, in BC, we're going to talk about Vancouver, blah, 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 blah. Click. And then the rest of them come up because I haven't done the rest of them. Isn't that neat? So you could do it if you wanted. I'm going to go Prince George, Control, Kamloops. And here's maybe an easier way. I've got it up here on my toolbar as well. On click. So each of those are going to have to wait for me to click. We're going to talk about Vancouver first, then we're going to talk about Victoria, then we're going to talk about Prince George, then we're going to talk about Kamloops. Okay. Then we're going to talk about Alberta altogether. So you have so much control over this. And it all depends on uh, the numbers, how many clicks, and this guy here, how to start it. How to start it. Okay. Just for fun, I'm going to take it off of Kamloops and I'm going to put after previous. So it looks a little bit different on the right-hand side in your animation pane. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. BC, Vancouver, Victoria, and then we have two smaller Prince George and Kamloops. And don't like the dimming on that. So you'd probably have to go back in and say, actually for Prince George, I don't want it to dim because I'm talking about them together. But you saw how it came in one after the other, not together. So Prince George, then Kamloops. So that's the difference. You always have three choices. Okay. Any questions about that? Is this new to you guys? Is it new to you, or have you done this kind of thing before? How many of you been in the animation pane before? Yeah, good. New, yes, or 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 yes, you knew it. Just say new. New if you knew. No, new if it's new. Good. Okay, good. Thank you. All right. So that's a little bit about the text. And if you had more levels, then then it would be the same kind of idea. The moving around on the right-hand side is powerful. You can group things, click, shift click, and drag. You see what happened there? I just moved BC. It did not move on the left-hand side. I'm going to do the same with Alberta. Click, shift click. I'm going to drag it and drop it above BC. What do you think that's going to do? What do you think that's going to do? Look at our numbers on the left-hand side here. What do you think it's going to do? Click. Okay, I'm going to talk about provinces, or and maybe you're doing some kind of a, a, a reveal. Third runner-up is Saskatchewan. Second runner-up is Alberta, and our winner BC. I don't know. It's a little messed up here now with the dimming, isn't it? Because Saskatchewan should have been dimmed now. But that's just an idea that you can do with that. And be careful with it. I just don't want to drag Saskatchewan down because it leaves Regina and those ones there. So click and shift click. So I'm going to try to fix that real quick here. Move it back up because I want it to work. BC, Vancouver, Victoria, Prince George, Alberta, Saskatchewan. Oh, and there's Manitoba all by itself. Okay, good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about bringing in some of the objects. So maybe we're going to go insert, and the one in the other presentation there, it was like shapes and things like that. I love the icons. They're quick and easy, and I could have just said stock images there as well. This just took me directly to there. And what we're going to do for BC, since BC is on the ocean, not for all the province, not for all the cities, but I'm going to ask for a boat. And we've got lots of boats. Which boat should we pick here? Yeah, I don't know. Kind of like this boat. I think the black will show up a little better on that white background. So I'm going to put a boat in there. Now, as soon as I put a boat in there, what do you notice that's different and the same as one other thing? It does not have a number beside it. Okay. And by the way, when we hit that animation pane, we don't see any numbers. So guess what Joanne has on all the time when I'm doing this. I always have my animation pane on. Always, always, always. Okay. And start watching the how it's lined up here too, which is kind of interesting. Okay, if I just go in and show you this right now, provinces on the boat do not have any animation applied to them at all. Escape, I'm going to give it some animation. When would I like it to come in and where? So when and where? Maybe I'd like the boat, and I think that boat should be a little bit bigger. That boat can there. I'm going to put it there just for right now. And actually, I'm going to put it there. Yeah. I'm going to go add animation. I'm going to go more entrance effects. And I'm going to have it flying in. So I'm going to click OK. So two things. It now has a number and it's flying in. Look where it is down here. Graphic. We're kind of have to start knowing what you're going to have a whole bunch of them here. Graphic 13 is the boat. I'm sorry, I don't even think you can rename that. Maybe you can somewhere. I don't know. I've never tried to rename that. But it's simple enough. If later you're like, what's graphic 13? You click on graphic 13 and it highlights it. Well, not really highlights the whole thing, but it highlights the animation. I don't like to call it a number, but like the mouse click, the 6. If I click on Calgary, it highlights that one. Okay, so how would that look? Provinces. Okay, it doesn't show up anymore. Here's our Vancouver. Here's our Victoria. Saskatchewan. One more click. There's our boat. Don't like that boats come up from the bottom. So I'm going to click on my boat. I'm going to go Effect Options. Where should it come from? Probably from the left because it looks like it's heading towards the right. And that's why I moved it a little bit, is wherever you move it. And I'm just going to preview that one. Actually, I don't like to preview it because it's too slow for me. But anyway, that's where it shows up. So that's the boat. I don't like where it did it. I think it should come up with BC at the same place at the same time as BC comes up. Maybe the BC and Vancouver. So what do? I really want it to be not a 6 but a 1. So I'm going to grab graphic 13 and I'm going to drag it right underneath Vancouver. Then what? Then I'm going to say I don't want a click. Maybe I'm going to do after previous. So it's going to not put a number on it. It puts a 1 on it, but over here, it's with BC Vancouver. It's with BC and Vancouver, and it's going to come after. Let's see what that looks like. Click, jump. All right. Oh, I don't like the dimming now. I think the dimming, I'd have to think about that. Let's try it with previous. And then maybe the dimming would make more sense. See, I need to do that. There, that's a little better. And now when I go to the next one, now it dims. The boat stays. Can't dim the boat. So what you could do is you could have that for each one of them. So let's do one. Okay, my Alberta friends, what would be a good one for Alberta? What would you want to do? Oil well? Do we have an oil well? There we go. We have an oil well. Oil well. Okay. Where would that one come from? And how does it doesn't have to come in the same way. It can come wherever. So animations, add animation, more entrance effects. I don't know. Let's say that it just kind of fades in from nowhere. Fade. Let's do a different one. Not swivel. Fade. That one's kind of boring. Zoom. Zooms in. There you go. Same kind of effect, but a little bit quicker. And know that on the top here, you can control the duration of it. So that boat was pretty fast. You could make it faster, or you could slow it down. What do we need to do to this one? Graphic 15. I don't know what happened to graphic 14. Graphic 15, we're going to put it after Panoka. Then what? We're going to say this comes in with the previous one. And it doesn't mean it'll come in with BC. It's the previous one. So graphic 15 comes in with Panoka. Panoka comes in with Sherwood Park. Red Deer. Blah, 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 blah. Edmonton comes with Alberta. and Alberta needs a click. So let's see what it looks like. Boom, boom, boom. Cool, hey? Isn't this cool, you guys? Yeah. I'm not going to do Saskatchewan on this because I think you probably have the idea, but what we're trying to do. Um, but oh, mountains. I'm sorry, Leslie. Yes, you're right. Mountains. I should have done mountains instead. They're much prettier. I'm not sure if there's mountains in the quick little uh, icons though. So yeah. Okay. Um, so we're going to talk about what happens when it comes in. So let's move this one a little bit to the side. What happens, the other effects. I'm going to back to the animations. And I'm back on the boat here, and I'm going to go add animation. And you don't want to do another animation here, another entrance one, because you've already done one. You can change it, but we're going to go here, and maybe we're going to say it's going to spin, just so that you can see what happens with it. And it'll show it to us just to see. That's what the little preview does. Um, it'll show you. Actually, the preview, I think, does them all. So I don't like the preview because you can't make it faster like you can the other one. This one just does everything. I don't like where it is because where do you think it should be? Maybe as soon as it comes in. So graphic 13, at least we know that. Do I want a mouse click? Let's see what it looks like. Now notice the yellow, right? So green is for entrance. Okay, there it comes in. Click. As soon as I click, it spins. Weird, I know. And then it keeps going. I'm going to press escape to come out of that. So we can leave it like that. You can have it spinning as soon as it appears. Look at them. They're both number ones now. They're both one on top of the other. How does it look? So it comes in and it spins right away. And then what else do you think you might be able to do with it? You can make it go away. So, got my boat, add animation. I'm going to go more exit effects. I could have done that with the emphasis, more emphasis effects. Lots more in here. Maybe I'm just going to have it flying out. So it's going to go, and then I'm going to go to the right. I don't think it makes sense to have it go down unless we're syncing it. And where does it go? Graphic 3. It always goes to the bottom, you guys. Actually, just for fun, I'm going to put it after cam loops because I want it there for the whole thing. I don't know. We can decide. So I want it when cam loops comes up, then I'm going to have it come up after that. And that's the fun part. I think that worked. Did it? Yeah, it did. This is the fun part of this is that you can just do it and see what it does. So it comes in, it turns Victoria, Prince George, cam loops. It went away. It went away really fast. It'd go away so fast. Fly out. It went well, way too fast. So we'd probably, I don't know, maybe make that 3 seconds. Let's see about that. I think that it went so fast because I clicked to get past it and it didn't have time to fully display it. But that gives you some ideas about the exit effect. So that might be how you would handle these objects like the dimming, right? We dimmed the um, the text. Well, you could make this guy fly away, go away. Okay. Any questions about that? All right. So then the only one that we haven't talked about over here is the one about motion paths. And it's the most fun. Um, maybe I'll do that with you know what, the boat is a lot of fun. And I'm actually going to get rid of the exit. I'm going to click on it. So make sure that you're on the right one and delete. And that just got rid of the exit effect. So right now, all it would do is come in and spin, and it's not going to exit. It stays. Okay. Because it kind of conflicts a little bit with this one. And I'm going to just put it over here just for fun. So let's just make sure. What does it do? Boom. Okay. You know what? I'm going to get rid of that goofy spin too, just so that we can see it. There we go. So now it's just going to show up there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my boat. I'm going to add animation. I'm going to go motion paths. So I have a few here. And then if I go more motion paths, watch what it does. Curvy left. I'm going to move this way over. Curvy left. Whoa. This is what it's going to do after it comes in. It bounces. It goes right on top of the oil well. Heart. Oh, it actually made a heart. And it'll do a star, and it'll do just about anything. I'm going to go diagonal down right. And I'm going to actually make it go right off the screen. So I'm going to say, and notice where this line goes. See how it said it went right to there? Let's see what it looks like. Boom. Oh, you know what? It's not, it goes to the bottom. I want it to go after, where do I want it? After Kamloops again. And we're going to say after previous. Okay. I don't like sometimes how it goes to the bottom, but I guess where is it supposed to go? Victoria, Prince George, ready for it? There we go. It doesn't matter because there's no oil well yet. But if I keep going, right? So if I wanted it to completely exit, here's all I have to do. I have to go to it. I have to grab that red piece. Oh, it's hard to grab. I'm going to grab it. Okay, I'm just going to move that guy out of the way for a minute. And then this guy will be easier. Oh yeah, and I just double clicked on it, and you can do a lot of other things with it too. There you go. That's what I was looking for. I'm just going to drag it down. I could drag it down here. I could drag it anywhere I wanted it to go. I'm going to drag it and put the oil derrick back. Watch what happens now. Oh, shoot. It was too fast. Victoria, Prince George, Kamloops. That just goes away. So that's graphic 13. Comes up, doesn't do anything, but it goes away. And you can see that it does it as the after. And you can stretch that. You can drag it to the right or move it or whatever. You can put a delay on it. There's so much stuff you can do here. My goodness. I'm going to actually delete that. And no, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add one more. I practiced this one earlier. My thing, you might have noticed because of my company logo, is a butterfly. We are going to make this butterfly fly around. We are going to make the butterfly fly around. So there's the butterfly. Make it bigger if you want. You can't fly its wings or whatever, but you do have some three-dimensional animated things that maybe you could play with on this. I'm going to give it an entrance. It's going to be, let's use the fly in, and we're going to say it's going to come from the left. There it comes in from the left, and then we're going to give it a motion path. And I don't like any of these motion paths that are in there. I'm going to go custom path. And what you can do with that is you can draw. I want it to go here, and then do a little spin here, and I want it to go around there, and then through here. I'm just clicking and dragging right now, and then come back. And I'm going to double click to tell it that I'm done. And look at that. Now, there's a time where you'd probably slow that down and make it maybe 5 seconds. Let's see what it looks like. Graphic 17. When do I want that one? I don't know. I'll just put it at the beginning so that we don't have to wait for it. And that is going to be on a with previous. So as soon as BC comes up, we're going to see the butterfly. Um, I had to do an extra click there. There. Oh yes, I had to do an extra one because I had to click once to get BC up there. How about that? So that was a custom. Oops. That was custom. And I could have had it flying right off, right? So think about your logo, think about just about anything else that you had wanted there. Questions? And we could have just had it starting there. You didn't even have to really have an entrance effect on it, really. You could have just had the motion path. Yeah. Okay. So last one, almost out of time here. Um, I'm going to show you about graphs. So I just did a graph. Um, I did a graph, Alberta, BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, different types of homes and their average price in 2022. Actually got this information from ChatGPT. I told it to make me a spreadsheet of the average house prices in those three provinces for 2022, broken down by dwelling type or house type or something. I can't remember what exactly I said. I have the prompt up here if you want to see. Anyway, um, I'm going to take those out. If I display this, bam, everything just comes up together, right? If I want to add some drama to it or some suspense, I'm going to click, let's say I'm going to talk about BC first. So I'm going to click on the blue because blue's BC. And I want to be sure that I click on it once and I have all the blues selected because if I have all the blues selected, then I click on one of them a second time, it deselects or unselects the other ones. And I'm just sitting there with that one. So you're going to go, hey, how come just that one bar went? Well, because we only had that one selected. So make sure all those bars are selected in that for that province in this case. And you're just going to do the same thing. You're going to say, I'd like it to, I know, come in as a wheel. How would that look? Oof, no, that's not going to look good. And actually, it's doing the whole thing. And I don't even really want that. So, effect options. We used that before. Do I want it to come in by series or by category? So, series is going to come in with just what I was talking about. So, bar by bar, as opposed to category would be all three of the single family detached houses, all three of the condos. And you can play with the other options there too. Okay, you can play with those on your own. I like the series one, I think. So I'm not sure that I really like that one. It's okay, I guess. But it looks like it's doing it for all of them. So I'm going to click on it. Let's see what it's doing. Just one click I did. Okay, there you go. So there's BC. It looks like it's coming from the right to the left. I'd probably be able to fix that. And there's the third one. So I didn't even have to go in and say, okay, the blue, this is how I want it to be, the orange, because it's all over here. Remember that content placeholder with the other one? We had to click on it if you want to do something different with the other ones. So maybe when I get to the fourth one, I want something special to happen to it. I want it to flash or something like that, then I can do that. Or maybe I want them to change color when after the click or something like that. There's just so many things here. Okay, I guess I can't do that one. I'm going to pick a different one for that one. More entrance effects. Ah, what would be a good one for that one? It's hard because yeah, the floating is really, well, that's the whole thing. No, we don't like that one at all. I don't want the actual placeholder to be animated either, and I'm going to fix that in a minute. So we can just pick one here. Which one, you guys? I hate to use fly in again, but I'll use checkerboard. It's kind of a neat one. Okay, and then I'm going to get rid of this one. Okay, so I'm going to go, here we go, BC. There's BC. Okay, there's Alberta. There's Saskatchewan. And there you go. So I got rid of the one that actually talked about the box itself. I don't want that coming in as animating that one. But basically any object you can you can have it coming in. You can have your title coming in, whichever way you want. I like the exciting ones. Boomerang. Boom. Yeah. Oh, it's coming in at the end. I always do that. I put an animation on and then it always comes in at the end. And I don't want that one to be there. So, boom. Yeah. So you can have things like shapes, insert shapes. You can have I don't like those arrows. I like these arrows. Maybe you're talking about this one. Keep going there and you could spin it oops, not that one. You could spin it a little bit. Here's the little spinner right here. You can click on it and you can type, wow. You can animate it. Maybe it is okay at the end, having it come in, zoom, and you can have something happen to it once it gets there. Yeah. So, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have done another add. I always do that. Add, where's Teeter? Teeter. It's in the other one. It's not in that one. Teeter. Okay. Don't want to have to click on it. I want it to come in after. So, how's this guy looking? Talk, 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 talk. So, in summary, the biggest bar on here is this guy. Isn't that cool? So it came in and teetered. So you can have just about anything, any object on here. You can add animation to it. Any questions? What was the best thing that you learned today? Give you some hints. Outline view. Maybe you're still looking at that. Animating text, dimming it so that it kind of fades out after. Doing it to shape some pictures and graphs. So the animation you saw with the crinkled paper, that actually wasn't this kind of animation. That was a transition. So let's just go up here to this one. So this is how the entire thing comes on the screen. Actually, let's go to the Manitoba one because I didn't do anything to it. Manitoba, there. Okay. So if I'm on this one and I run my slideshow, okay, blah, blah, blah. We know all about this one. Okay. Watch how the Manitoba one comes up. Nope. There, but just comes up. Okay. So that would be a transition. So how it comes up. So not anything on there, that's a transition. And I would go here, and I believe that one was what was that one? I should go to the other one to see. What one was that? Crush. I think it was Crush. Yes, it was Crush. So let's go to that one. Let's go in, blah, 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 Ready for it? Oh, it's going to be a butterfly. Boom. Manitoba comes up with that one. Good. Outline view and dimming. Good. Crush. Good. Yeah. Kathy's used the crush before. Good. Any other comments or questions with that? I hope you can use those things. It does make kind of a difference. Um, I know it's time, but I'm just going to bring up this church slideshow that I did for a church years ago, and it's got music on it as well. Oh my goodness, it's just a dog's breakfast here. Like, look at all the stuff just piled on top of each other. But look what happens when I run the slideshow or the this is this it's so got the, and I've got music. I didn't share my sound, but and I'm not touching anything. These were all just timed. And looking back, I think I should have made them quicker transitions, but that one left. This one comes in. Now that bottom right is leaving. Something else should be coming in. That's too slow. Maybe I was looking at it, it's in compatibility mode too. So it's not even, this is like 100 years old, this thing. But I'll show you the custom animation pane for that one. Animation pane. It used to be called custom. Look at that. Look at all the things that are coming and going. And I could have, I easily could have made them faster. 5 seconds, no. And if I go down to the bottom right here, I can see these are all this is all the order it comes in. So I could have gone in. There's a great big gap there. I don't know why there's such a big gap on that one. So I could have pulled that one over to say start sooner, right? So some people think that PowerPoint slideshows save time in, I guess compared to what, but um, you could spend hours doing this kind of thing. So yeah, pictures, these ones all came in one at a time and all by themselves because nobody was sitting there clicking the mouse. Yeah. So anyway, just thought I would share that one with you. I did that for them like probably 20 years ago. I think it was 20 years ago actually. All right. I'm glad that you liked it, Kathy. Yay, Angela. Next week is smartphones. Just curious for you guys. Put in the chat, are you an iPhone or an Android person? And it doesn't really matter. We're going to try to do both. iPhone. Yay, yay, yay. There's probably one Android person that's going to come, and that's fine. That's fine. We don't mind that. But yeah, the uh, usually the majority is uh, is iPhone. So we're gonna we're gonna share. I'm gonna join Zoom on my iPhone and then share my screen of my iPhone on here. So I'll definitely have to put do not disturb on so that I don't have any goofy texts or anything coming in. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Um, and please, if you think your organization can benefit from a session like this, please, let's chat. This is my way of getting the word out that we do these kinds of things, and we'll talk on what you want to talk about. Okay. Or I can give you some ideas about what people might be interested in. Thank you for coming again. Looking forward to seeing all those nice reviews. Um, Cynthia, it's just on my website. I knowitsooner.com and then click on events. Yeah. So I didn't invite. I don't send emails out all the time because I don't like to bug people. But yeah, knowitsooner.com and then events.